All right. So, who remembers the physics lesson video that I've done? I do, because I'm the one that posted it, basically. Where I basically flicked the blanket. Well, this is the engine that I was talking about. Must remind you, I'm not the one that invented it. I'm not the one that designed it. But, I am going to be the one that, tries to create his own variants. Like how there's several variants of gas guzzling engines. And such. You can say that this is one of my many variants of that engine. But in any case, this is also a doodle that I did revolving around a probe, basically. Now, if you can't tell from the picture, you got your radar, you got your communication system, and you got your cameras. You also got your lasers. And if you can't tell from the diagram, you have your solar cell, this little engine setup, and this ion engine. The thing is about ion engines, they can use any gas, really, as fuel, basically, and more or less relies on a gas leak, basically, as propulsion. This uses that scenario that I showed y'all in one of my YouTube videos, which took too long to explain, but that basically it takes this entire concept and turn it into an engine. And as you can see from this diagram, it would basically bounce off of here, go that direction, stop, in the process pulling the entire mechanism forward, and producing thrust that way. That's basically the entire idea. The question is, how do you how do you power it? How do you wind up the spring and such? While at the same time making it where it would stop at, some point. Well, I think it should be obvious that there would be stoppers, basically. And that there would be a wire connecting to a wind up, like a type of electric motor that would wind up the spring, where the spring would be wind up. And then as the entire thing moved this way, the spring would basically be stationary, preferably, as the entire craft moves that way. And then it would bounce again, going, with us causing the spring to go this way, catching on some hooks or whatever, that would pretty much cause it to do an immediate stop. And as it does an immediate, as it's moving and does that immediate stop, it's winding back up. And once it does that immediate stop, it caused the entire craft to go that way. That's the idea. More or less. Kind of like a jellyfish. Anywho, we're one of those people that goes roll type people. Anywho, and we all know how solar cells work. The same way the actual cells work, but instead of using wind as to blow the boat forward, it would use solar winds to blow the entire craft forward. And obviously, like any solar system, no, not solar system, like any cell-based system, larger the cell, more solar wind you can capture. Or, if you were, and I'm pretty sure anyone who had time and energy to put this together, or if you were to have some lasers and set it up where the solar cell can catch a mixture of laser fire and can catch solar wind, well, then you can basically, like on Earth with a fan and a cell, turn on the fan and you go forward, basically. Same concept. You can apparently, that plastic wrap, you can basically make one out of those. Just spray it down in a type of silverly alloyed, that would make it easier to reflect the light, like the solar wind of the sun. And it's a pretty cheap material to get your hands on. Problem is, it tears up easily. So, yeah. Let's see here. So, now the question is, why use these three? Well, ion engines, like it or not, are practically more of a coke. Like, no matter how you look at it, each one of these engines is a coasting based type engine. Alright? You only turn them on if you want to coax. Not get somewhere fast, but get somewhere at a decent pace. If you want to get somewhere fast, you use chemical propulsion, basically. Now, however, you can build up momentum in space. There's 0G, like zero gravity, and it's zero frictionless environment. Okay? So, you can basically build up momentum and such to get to where you want to go. And, in a way, these three engine designs are all exactly that. Engines designed to build up momentum over time. And this entire probe, if you think about it, can be made out of Legos. And I'm not kidding either. I'm deadpan serious if you think about it. Because you can basically buy the materials to create a solar cell at home. You can basically buy the materials to build your own ion engine. It's not really that hard. And you can buy the materials to build, this engine here as well. And it doesn't have to be expensive either, too. The only thing that would probably be expensive to get your hands on is the solar panels, the power supply, or batteries and crap to store up the electricity needed to power the entire system, the brain, the LiDAR concept, the camera, the communication, stuff like that. That's going to be expensive. But building the frame, building the engines, and building the solar cell, that's the easy bit. The expensive bit would be getting your hands on a computer chip to act like the brain, the communication system, the LiDAR, the cameras, and stuff like that. That's the hard bit. And air, you can basically pull it straight from the atmosphere. So, basically you can buy a large empty gas container, or hell, get your hands on Coke, an empty Coke bottle, add a pump of some sort here, and a bike tire thing here, filled up with gas, and set it up where the pump would just simply create a gas leak, basically. Add a electrical